Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my video. Today I'm showing you guys how to make Roblox renders in a short amount of time. These aren't like super insane, hyper realistic, but this is just the basics to get yourself some nice renders like the one in my thumbnail. To start off, open up Roblox Studio and you can either create a new place or edit one of your old games. I'm going to start with a classic base plate, doesn't really matter which one you choose. Once you're in, you're immediately going to want to install two plugins. And on the left, go to models and then go to plugins. Next, you want to choose load character light or load character pro. Pro I believe costs and light is a free version. I'm just going to click on one of these and you can actually just at the bottom click install. You're going to want to search for legacy animation editor and then install the first one here, which is by Build Thomas. Next up, go to plugins at the top and choose load character. This will pop up a little window and then you put the username of who you want to render. I'll just put in my username for now. I'll make sure spawn and origin is checked and press spawn R6. Now I can close out that window and I can maneuver my camera over to my character. Next, I would personally move your character up onto the top of the base plate, but it's up to you. Now once you're there, at the top where you see animation editor and rig builder, choose animation editor and click on your rig or your character. Then at the bottom, click select and then click anchor. Next, move your camera over to whatever part of the body you want to move. And I'm just gonna move one of my arms here and I'm gonna bring my arms to go upwards. Now we have the arms of my character going upwards. However, if we just press X here, it will not save the animation. So what you're going to do is on the right, click on your username, and then go back to home and press this little anchor button here. This will anchor the animation so it stays frozen. Now you can press the X and press OK. This will leave your character standing still like this. Next up, this is kind of an extra thing. You can actually go to where you click plugins and go to images and you can actually get yourself a face. I like the way this one looks for my character, so I'm gonna right click on it and choose copy asset ID. Then on the right where my username is, I'm gonna click this little arrow to the side of it, go to head, face, click on that and make sure properties is open, and you can get properties open in this view tab up at the top. Make sure both of these are on. Then go to texture and just paste the asset ID and press enter. It'll update it to the new texture. Some decals may not look good though. Once you're happy with the way your model looks, you go to the name :1 or whatever it is and then right click on it. Then go down to export selection and I'm just gonna blur this part just because it has, you know, personal files. Just save it to whatever folder you want. Doesn't really matter where you put it as long as you remember where you put it. Now that it's saved as an OBJ, go to wherever you have Blender downloaded. If you downloaded from the original site, open up the exe, or if you did what I have and I actually have it through Steam, you all you have to do is play it through Steam. Now that it's launched up, you're gonna have this cube in the middle. And if it's on the side here and it's not selected like this, just click here and then press X and then click delete. What you're gonna wanna do is go up to the top left where it says File, Import, scroll down to wavefront.obj, then go to the file that you want to import and click Import OBJ. Now on the right where it says this little camera icon, press this, or you can press numpad 0 on your keyboard. And then on this little tiny arrow up in the top right, click here, go to view, and then lock your camera to view. Now if you hold middle mouse button, you can move your camera around, and if you hold shift and middle mouse button, you can move your camera around even more. So I'm gonna focus mine up like this, and I wanna make myself, let's say, a profile picture. So I'm gonna set up my camera the way I want it to be, and then I'm like, this isn't good resolution for a profile picture. So what you do on the right here, you go to this little icon right here, click that, output properties, and then type in 2 equal dimensions. I'd say 1080 by 1080 or 512 by 512 if you want to do a profile pic. And then align your work to fit perfectly. And then go to right here, go to this little icon, render properties, and change the render engine to cycles. Next up, you want to go to the top right here where it has these little 4 dots. Choose the one on the far right. This will slowly load it in. You will see some grain, but over time it'll go away. And as you move your camera, it'll turn to more grainy, more pixelated. Next up, as you can see, there isn't much light on the work. So I'm actually just gonna go back to this and I'm gonna zoom out and I'm actually gonna grab my light out. Once you have your light selected, on the side here, you should be able to see a bar like this. Move the selected item to wherever you would like it to be. What I would recommend is doing it in front of the player's face. So something like this, so it's aligned up perfectly like that. Now go back to this one, and you'll be able to see that it's nicely lighting up. But if you don't like the way it looks, make sure you have light selected here. Go to the bottom right and choose Object Data Properties, and I'd say choose Spot. I prefer this. Now it may not be aimed, so grab this little yellow dot here and move it towards the face of your character. There's a lot you can edit about the way it looks, but I'd personally just leave everything the way it is. So now I've aligned my camera the way I want, and this is slowly rendering itself here. Next, we're gonna wanna go back to this render properties tab, to go to where it says film, and choose transparent. This will make the background transparent so you can use it in Photoshop. If you don't want that, then it's up to you. Once you've done stuff like that, you can also add, if it's too dim or too whatever, if you wanna edit the exposure in gamma, all you have to do is scroll all the way down that same place and choose color management, and you can turn up your exposure and turn it down. Now once you're happy with the way yours turned out, you're going to want to render the image. As you see as it renders, it's not completely ready immediately, and you can see that there's a little bit of grain that has to go away. In the top left, you can actually see how much time it says remaining. This is usually not right for me. Sometimes it said 40 hours, and it's immediately cut down and only took a minute. So I'm gonna wait this one out and we'll see how long it takes. Now that it's done rendering, go up to the top left and choose image, and then click save as. Then go to whatever folder you want it in and type out a name. Next up, this part is kind of extra. However, you can bring it into Photoshop to spice it up a little. I'm showing you guys some tips to spice up your thumbnails, icons, or whatever like that. I'm launching up Adobe Photoshop CS6, but it's entirely up to you what you would like to launch up and what type of Photoshop software you have. What I would personally recommend is in the image, go to adjustments and turn up the vibrance a lot for anything, pretty much thumbnails, icons, whatever, and turn the saturation up to until it looks like a, pretty realistic, but pretty colorful. You want stuff to be clickable. Basically just adjust everything the way you want. So I'm gonna quickly actually customize this and make it look really cool. So let's do a quick snap. After you customize it however you want, you should have something that looks like this if you're doing a profile picture, but honestly, it's up to you the way you customize it, and always make sure to take your time and make sure it's the best thing you can possibly do. Anyways, make sure to like and subscribe, and take care.